Hey guys, it's Silver and welcome to Gaming in the Grove. Today we're going to be playing a bit of Transport Fever 2. As you can see, this game looks very pretty. I went ahead and this is a modded save world that I have up. This is the Appalachian world generator. Gives us a nice West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio Valley, Pennsylvania sort of world situation. Got this lovely river through here. We're starting in the year 1850, so we're starting halfway through the 1800s. So, got a lot of space here, a lot of world that I can kind of do anything I want with. And yeah, here's the hard part. It is going to be kind of building through the valleys and through the areas. I told it to give me an Appalachian name generator for the town names, but it looks like it just went ahead and went with US names anyway, which is kind of frustrating, but you know, what can you do? So I haven't really looked at it too much, so give me a second and we'll try and figure out where we're going to get started. Alright guys, I think I figured it out. We're going to actually start here at Simi Valley. And we're going to actually go to Reno as kind of the starting point. It's a very small little run back and forth for a passenger line, but I also figured a good way to kind of get us going is there's a lot of like farms right here, and there's a nice food processing plant right here. So just have it deliver all that food there and just start delivering straight up into Reno. That's a good little like circle right there to kind of get food going. And then as we extend after Reno, we can head over to Worcester or Worcester. There's no H, so it's not Worcester. Worcester. Anyway, gonna start with that. We're essentially starting in like the flattest area of the map and kind of working from there. So since it is the 1800s, it's not going to be the prettiest train stations, but let's see, what do we have? I figure this is going to be the terminus. This here is the exact terminus of it all. I don't know what's going to happen, so we're going to make it a one-track terminus. I wish I could edit this building because I like using the larger buildings. So we're going to actually put this here, I think. I think this will probably be the best place for it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a mix. This is going to be a passenger freight station. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace that building there with something a bit bigger, if it's possible. I've got to move it up. Darn it. Okay. I'm just going to have to delete it all now that I know that. Hey, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to just test things out and you'll figure it out in time. It looked like that would be good. Alright, configure, delete this station building, and let's get us a big one. This is our Grand Central. This is the end of the line, and it is way too far away now. It's way too far away. Alright, one more time. With feeling, you know, like they say in those movies. Good news is we already planned on going that way through the area there. Let's try this now. Can I configure it to get the right building? Because this is a big station. This is our big terminus. You want to have a big passenger building. Yes. Now let's see. Can I have another one right here? No, it's not going to let me build beside it. That's okay. That's okay. What I do want is to make a small freight section right here. So all passenger tracks are going to be over on this side. And the reason I'm making a freight section is because later on I will be able to have goods pass through here as well. My goal is I'm going to very early on have kind of just a passenger service, but when things get kind of going... No. I don't understand having these here. This is really far up. There we are. Nice. Yeah, having this down here is a lot smarter of an idea because, you know, passengers crossing over back and forth between the tracks farther down. Yeah. Good idea. Having it all the way down there, a little weird. Alright. I've already used up a lot of money, so just gonna quickly build some track and yeah, go from there. So a little time has passed. I went ahead and I built a bit. I wanted to keep the track low to the ground because we start here, and I don't really like going down big hills when you're doing coming straight out of the station. So instead I went up a hill. But because of how it was going, the track was not going to be able to cross here easily. So I went ahead and built a bridge and an embankment system. And essentially I've decided that if I decide to extend it anymore, the track's going to be here on the left side. Then we go down into the woods, and we're going to start just going through the woods now for trackage. This is a very small section. I've already spent, I think, $1 million in game for what is going to be a short line to Reno. Like, this is not an extremely long line. And I figure for situations like the farm here, we'll have the station over here or something, and have it go like through here and under or past our other line here. Maybe connect up with it briefly before splitting off again. Or just doing a full-on crossover, you know. It's really hard to tell. But anyway, I'm just going to keep extending the track here for a bit, and we're going to get the Reno. Oh, man. So, as you probably saw in that little time lapse there, had a bit of issues, but ended up doing not too bad. Yes. Got a lovely station here. Tracks laid out, ready for both arriving and leaving trains. Good for future use, but we won't worry about that too much because I'm just going to have one train on this entire line for right now. But soon enough, we'll be doing more. But as you can see, we weave a bit from one side to the other. Probably could have just stayed on this side, but I didn't think about too much. Mostly weaving to get around that field, but probably shouldn't have worried too much about it. Gonna have to like put up a bunch of different freight stations to deliver food over here later, but for right now, I'm gonna focus on getting the line started and moving. And I suspect that probably the best way would be to put down a there we are, train depot. Oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna put it down here at this side. Gonna just put down a train depot. It will connect straight into the line, and any trains from here on out will just be sent straight along. Because this is more kind of an industrial thing, I'm gonna put it over on this side, in the industrial part of town. And then we'll have the track. We're gonna go ahead and use this yard track. I am using a lot of different mods and stuff. If there's any interest of knowing what my mod list is, I could look into posting it. The community has made some wonderful things, and I love using it. One of it, which is, I believe, this track, because I wanted something a bit more American looking, and a lot of the track made for this game isn't that American looking. It's pretty, I feel bad saying it, it's pretty European. They've definitely chosen to go for a more European look. I don't like that. I don't like how that is lining up right now. How about this? We'll have it connect here. And then after that, we'll do this. And then we'll do that, which is coming together on the uphill track, heading for the next town. One of the other things I went ahead and did is I got these US-based signals. Like I said, if there is any interest in knowing everything I got, put it in the comments, and I will absolutely make a video where I list it all off. Alright. Now we've got our little railroad set up. Just need to make a line, and a bada bing, bada boom, and we're good to go. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to just take the name, and that's the name of the route. Simi the Reno, and let's make it a different color instead of this Puget color. Let's make it a dark blue, a really dark blue. Yeah, like that. Almost Baltimore and Ohio blue. By the way, I'm a train nut. I do know a lot about that. Anyway. Cool, we've got a line set up. We've got 2 stations. We've got a train depot. Now let's just buy our train and set it to run. Ooh, our first hard decision. A Baldwin or a Virginia, a Norris. Once again, another thing that I've done here is I've went ahead and I got a mod that adds a tender. The Norris that comes in this version still does not have a tender, which is frustrating. More traction, more power and traction effort, but lower top speed. but more power, so it can pull more. This weighs less. Both of them are good. Both of them, I think, also didn't come with tenders in the main game. So these tenders are things I got on the Steam Workshop to give it a more active look. I think we'll save these Baldwins for when I'm doing freight. For right now, I think I'm going to use the Norris for my passenger service. Alright. We'll do a Caboose. And can this carry anyone? Nope. We'll go ahead and throw a Caboose on there just in case. Cabooses were also another add-on, I think. Another thing from the Steam Workshop. Cool. $696,000 later. We'll dye it in the colors of the line. And we'll put it on the line. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. La da dee. Oop. Just gonna do this instead. We're already down to 1 million left, but you know. Probably should have made that red. Can I change that? There we are. A little bit of a price change, but there we go. It's kind of nice just watching it cross over this very wide open landscape. Just look at this little locomotive go. Just enjoy the pretty of the train disappearing into the middle of the trees. Oh, 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 we're almost here, we're almost here. I think it's gonna have to come all the way down here. I don't remember. We're arriving in Reno. Not Nevada, just Reno. Who knows what state this is. The end pieces here came with the track pack that I have grabbed from the Steam Workshop. There it is. Our first little train. Now, bad news. It's not going to be picking up anyone, I don't think. Nope, it's going to be picking up 9 people. 9 people. So many. And there goes our little train off back to where it came from. Don't know how I feel about the blue on top there, but we'll leave it for now. Alright. Now let's see if we can get some of that up. Get more people coming to this station and the other. Now how you do that is you add some nice inter-town transportation. For something this small, I'd say a bus service would do perfectly fine. Well, buses. Carriage service would do perfectly fine. Okay, let's get us a nice carriage depot. Road depot. Kinda actually want to do this. We're gonna have them right next to each other. The road depot and the train depot, just right here, right next door to each other. You know, that's very fitting for my transportation company. Yep. All right. Now, I think that's a bit more modern than what I want for this time period, so we're just gonna do an old school bus stop. And we'll say pick up people here. Pick up people here. Pick up people here. And we'll actually build a big building here, because this is our actual, like, station. Still a bit more modern than I would like it, but I'm pretty sure these are the default ones for the game. Here, for right now, we're just gonna do this. A bus stop. Once again, I don't think they were called buses in this time period, but, you know. What you gonna do about it? Earnings, -3 million. That sounds about right. Alright. And I just tend to call these, because until they're like big cities, I don't see any reason to call them anything else. Just something very bright and colorful. Alright, now let's get, I say 3 horse-drawn wagons. Let's do 2 for now. Now they're colored in the colors of the bus line, and ooh, nice. It colored the wheels. I kind of like that. It's not all I was expecting. So now I have a horse and carriage bus line that slowly hopefully will pick up people and take them around town, bringing them to our grand central station for what I'm hoping will become a big, bustling town. Knock on wood, you know. Probably gonna end up putting the actual like goods station over here, because this is gonna be goods, but it's gonna be a different type of goods. Now I'm only down to 1 million, so right now most of my hope is lying on this rail line, which I don't know how much it's going to make me. I don't even think there's a way for people to get to it. I actually think there's no way for people to get to the station right now. If I upgrade this, that's pretty much it, just right there. I have no other way to upgrade this. That was it, making it that. Oh. Whoops, that wasn't what I meant to do. There we are. Oh, that would cost me all my money. I mean, supposedly this is attached. People are able to get here. I'm probably gonna end up making another 2 tracks here later on in the future. Alright, so we're going to let this run for a bit, and we'll check back in when I get somewhere. We can see how this train goes. Maybe I'll do some cinematic shots. I don't know. We'll find out as I go along. Hello and welcome back. Well, I guess it's not welcome back. You're still in the video. For me, it has been a rough time. I originally recorded this about a month ago. Then I had a hard drive crash, which essentially led to me being without a hard drive for most of the month. Finally got around to recording the end of this episode. And today, when I went to go and finally edit the video together, I found out all the footage was pretty much showing the wrong screen the entire time. I have never made mistakes like that before. When I've done these videos in the past, I've made other mistakes that I've learned from, but that was a new one for me. So, yeah, welcome. There's a lot that happened since the time lapses and the bits of the video that you had last seen. Where to even begin? Since you've been gone, we've essentially seen the station over here at Simi Valley has become a lot more popular. It's a lot more busy. We were getting up to 50 people before the train would arrive. Hence why there's the new third carriage on it. Next up along the way was actually this. We built a 2-track passing area over here. Essentially, this is setting up for when we get a second train. Kind of helping become the time barrier, making it less and seeing if that causes more people to want to go between these areas. Because, as you may know if you've ever been to urban cities, when you have 2 trains running between 2 locations and they're a lot more frequent, people are more likely to use it because they know it's going to be there. Right now, the trains are not that frequent. So my hope is to kind of make them more frequent. That area is about smack dab in the middle of the line. So here's hoping that it gives a nice distance between the 2 stations so the trains can both be loaded from both stations, end up there, and pass. The other thing is Reno has seen a lot of service to the bus line. The bus line is busy as all hell. Not sure why. It's more busy than the other towns. I actually have looked at both Simi and Reno, and every time a train lets out, Reno always is going to have more people here at the bus stop than the other place. I'm taking a guess. It's probably because right now most of the town is up here. No houses have expanded down this way. To get to most of like the commercial and the industrial area, it's faster just to take the horse and carriage, though you will still see people wander. Next thing I did, added another horse and carriage to this line. It's helped improve the ability of getting people out of here and into the town, but it's still not doing it too fast. The next thing I've realized is that for me to extend the rail line this way now, it's going to cost me $400,000 to destroy all these houses. So, that is going to be a hefty investment that we're going to have to focus on in the future. And the last but not least, the note that I am really excited about is we are finally hit far enough that we now have the 440. Issue! The 440 locomotive is only about a mile per hour faster than the one locomotive we're using now. The only thing that it has to really do it above is it can pull more. So we could have a 4-car passenger train and it would be able to pull it no problem. Though, on the other side, this train here still does 27 miles per hour, the max speed that this locomotive can do along this entire line. So we're not really losing out on speed. We're not having issues with carrying yet. So there is no reason to get the new locomotive other than the fact it looks prettier and nicer. That's pretty much it. Next up on my agenda of things that we discussed in the episode that's now lost, the farm here. This is going to be for the next episode. I have kind of figured out where I'm going to end up putting the station. I figured right here will be a good place. We'll have an area so that we keep extending back so that we can keep having longer trains here. Instead of doing multiple trains, we'll just have longer trains. And we'll have it connect in here, make a U-turn there, and then have it brought over to the food processing factory over here. Food processing will bring it over here, go back the opposite direction through the Y, and have it brought over here to Reno, probably to a food platform, an actual like cargo platform over here rather than putting it in with the station. Or, even potentially more, adding a freight depot on this side. So you have passenger, freight. You know, kind of giving it a bit more of an extra area. I'm not gonna. In the future, I do not see too many trains coming through here. I might actually add a middle track here for other freight trains to get through, and then we'll have another freight platform if this area gets really busy. Don't know. That's far in the future. We're not going to focus on that right now. Right now, the main thing we have to focus on, and I did try to focus on with the rest of the episode that I just recorded, is trying to get this passenger line profitable. So far, the good news is we are seeing an increase in profit since we added this extra passenger car. This was the first year that the new passenger car was added. It was the most amount of money that we had made with this line yet. It did have a very quick dip down, but it's had a nice rise back up. And the reason for that, I think, is because we were originally carrying a lot more people very quickly because the line was kind of, a lot of people were just waiting there. Now that people aren't waiting there as long, the price went down. We had less people at the stations. We weren't getting as many full trains. Now we're starting to get the full trains again. People are once again kind of lining up the platforms. We're kind of getting everything used up. And that's kind of where I'm hoping we're going to end up this year, is we're going to have another one of these years where the profit is going to go up and we're not going to have any issues. Road has been a weird one that I've noticed. Road, both bus surfaces have been kind of having an up and down. I don't know why. I thought for sure the bus line would have the most profitable year here. It didn't. In fact, it had the most profitable year in the year the railroad had the least profits. I don't know why. That's weird. Another thing, normally what people suggest for a lot of these is just take up more lanes, take up more loans to, build your large expansion. And while we can do that, and we might actually do that very quickly to get the freight line done in the next episode, I really do not think that is a good idea to keep doing, because you're going to run into the issue of your interest is now killing you. You need to be able to lower that interest so that you're getting more of your profits back and less of it's going to the interest. So what I might try doing is paying back some of the loan and seeing where that goes. All right. So we're just going to let the train run for a little bit. I'm going to start paying off some of that loan and, let's see if we can get it down to where I'm not paying out an arm and a leg each year for loans. And we can see if we can start saving up that amount needed to build a freight service to kind of help increase our profits some more. All right. Hope you enjoy some of these new kind of scenic shots. So as I've been kind of speeding through things and trying to get things readjusted and everything working again, because you know how it is, time is money! Literally, we're spending a lot of time trying to get money, paid off so we can reborrow it. I already know how much it's going to cost each year if we get it back up to 4 million. So I figured if we pay off 2 million, we'll be able to do that again. And that will help us build this entire freight line, I think. And the hope is, fingers crossed, the hope is freight will get us more money so that we'll be able to pay back those loans a whole lot faster. But that was the whole idea behind the passenger line in the beginning. Downside is, it is literally 1870. We are 20 years away from the 1900s, which by that time in American history, railroads were a lot more prevalent than this. So I've got a whole lot of catching up on history to do. I'm literally going to be pretty much doubling and jumping faster than history did. I'm also looking at potentially, when we do decide to get the second train for the passenger line, we're gonna have to replace the locomotive on the main train, because as I was already checking, that locomotive is in mediocre standards. It is at mediocre value. It is at mediocre repair value. I can keep repairing it at a much higher cost, but the issue is we're going to start getting into the years where it's not worth it to keep repairing it, and it might just be better to just replace it, so it's easier to just keep going, have longer trains and otherwise. But first things first, I have 500,000 left to pay off to finally have the 2 million available for us to get back up. And that with that 2 million, I think I can build this entire line. I believe I can do this entire freight line with 2 million. It's going to be tough, but it might be possible. I know this entire line here was done with 2 million, so that's why I'm crossing my fingers and hoping. The other good part is the line will still be going, so this will still be making us money while we're building that with the extra 2 million, unlike the last time when we built the first line here and we didn't have any other income really coming in yet. So that's the main thing I've noticed. Just gonna kind of show a few more shots, and hopefully when you come back next time and it's back to me and the live gameplay, you will absolutely be there and we'll be ready to go and wrap things up, kind of. But there's a nice little bow on this and get ready for whatever episode 2 brings. Alright guys, the train finally made it back and we finally got that last 500,000 needed. So now we have 2 million free to grab to build that line. Does mean we're a little bit broke right now. Hopefully this train can get over there. And, you know, no, it's not. It's not going to be able to. As I was about to say, and hopefully, you know, we won't go bankrupt for that long, but we're gonna absolutely go negative for a bit before the train arrives. Good news is this Reno is now putting out more passengers than Simi, actually. So I guess everyone who had been going from here earlier on to Reno has started going back the other way. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. We've had an entire flip-flop there. But we still have the bus service here is highly used. So that's good. Yeah, next up is essentially... Next episode, we're going to focus more on the freight line. I'm going to take that $2 million that I just paid off, and I'm actually going to grab the loan and we're going to essentially use that 2 million to build a line from this farm here over to this food processing plant, have a dual track there, build a line from there, and connect it up into this main line to Reno, where we're going to have a second another station here for freight. I'm just going to plop right there a freight platform. I was originally thinking maybe putting it over here, but no, we're just going to put a freight platform right there. It's going to do well. We've already got the freight connection here. It's fine. It's fine. Overall, I think that next episode we're going to see a lot of changes made. The episode is going to change really fast, and you know the years are still flying by. I'm hoping that when we get the freight line, it will be making a bunch more money, and that this delivery will also expand Reno, so more people are leaving it, and thus we can expand the passenger service more too. While the years have been flying by, new things have happened. I have new locomotives. I have a 260 now, and also the first tram car, the horse-drawn tram car has arrived. Issue: because I've been focusing so much on trying to repay these loans, I don't have the money yet to build a tram depot in Reno to replace all those bus stops with trams. I won't lie, that is absolutely my goal now, is I want to replace the buses there, the not buses, but the horse-drawn carriages with a horse-drawn tram, because I feel like that would be much more suited to getting more people from the train station into the heart of town where all those stores are that people are obviously coming to Reno for. Where on the flip side, this town, Simi Valley, does not need that. Simi Valley is already... The station is located in the heart of the commercial, right at the edge of the residential, and right there at the edge of the industrial. It's literally perfectly placed, evenly from everything, where Reno, it's a bit more on the outskirts. We will probably add an entrance for the residential section over here for like a freight platform and all that. But right now, the only way passengers are getting anywhere is by doing this very long trek up into the main town. I might see about adding another entrance over here once the trek comes out this way, but that's once again far in the future and going to cost a lot of money. So, right now, this is everything we have. Our situation is definitely getting started. We're definitely getting somewhere. We have a railroad. We have this lovely, lovely mountain range. We have a lovely, gorgeous setup ready to go. Hopefully it'll keep turning a profit. You know, if we ever made it to modern days, I'd say this is perfect for a tourist railway, but hey, we'll see if we can even get out of the 1800s at this point. For now, thank you all for watching. I'm Silver. Welcome to Gaming in the Grove. This is our first episode. This is the kind of show off how this channel is going to be different. I'm actually going to be, after this video, including an entire mod showcase. I have recorded a bunch of cinematic shots showing off the various mods used in this. Everything from smoke reduction to have it a bit more see-through, and a smoke enhancement so that it actually stays longer, because smoke doesn't tend to be as thick, and also it tends to be a bit more... stays in the air a bit longer after the train has gone through. I have various showcases of these mods as well as other things. Overall, Transport Fever Base is a really fun game. The workshop and the implementation of items from the workshop into the game has definitely been the thing that keeps this game alive and keeps this community so alive and so engaged. So, going to give a shout out to all of the mod creators. I'm going to have links to all their items in the description, timestamped of when their mod display is, and you know, go check out their stuff. All of them are kind of why I'm so happy to kind of show off this game, is because they make this game look so amazing. A game that already looks really freaking gorgeous. They just make it look that much better, and it's one of those things that when you work so well hand in hand with the community and the mod creators. You get a really lovely creation community kind of experience that you don't get elsewhere. So as this train finally arrives at this station and everyone will disembark, I will have to say thank you all for watching. Like I said, mod showcase is coming up after this. Next episode will be next week on Monday. Transport Fever is going to be one of the mainstays. It will be every Monday. You will learn the rest of my schedule as the week goes on. But for now, thank you all for watching, and till next Monday.